1950.
Right.
That's where the Kubertan entries, where Kubertan planted an oak.
Why don't you go down there with them?
Let's have a big cheer.
I am really thrilled and honoured to be here because Wenlock is really where the modern Olympian movement started, and you have made a massive contribution to all the excitement that we're going to have next year in London, which is going to be watched live by half the world's population. And that all started from the inspiration that happened right here with Dr. William Penny Brooks.
Welcome to the Wenlock Olympian Games.
Thank you.
And what's your very first impression of the Games itself, the layout, and what we're doing here?
Well, I think it all looks incredibly well run and smooth, and lots of very happy young people and proud parents, and so I'm really pleased to be here. I think what Much Wenlock does is it reminds everyone that Britain has been absolutely instrumental in the Olympic story, the birth of the modern Olympic story. Both the original Wenlock Olympian Games going back to 1850, but also the Paralympic Games going back to what happened in Stoke Mandeville in 1948. So we have a huge amount to be proud of in our Olympic heritage, and that's really why I'm here.
The other thing I wanted to ask you was that William Penny Brooks, was his raison d'etre was physical education, to keep the nation healthy. Through being healthy, you're happy. Healthy, you know, healthy body, healthy mind. There's a lot at the moment about PE being under threat in schools, not enough money. How do you think that you will address that for the future?
Well, I think you know, all the budgets in the public sector are under pressure at the moment. It's a very, very tough period. But I'm absolutely delighted that Michael Gove has said that PE is going to remain a compulsory part of the curriculum. We've introduced a new Olympic-style tournament that every school in the country can take part in, called the School Games, and that I think will help a lot of schools put on more competitive sport. So I think we can make sure, and I think we've got to do more actually, to make sure that sport is a really central part of what goes on in schools.
Is this your first visit to Shropshire?
It's not my first visit to Shropshire, but it's my first visit to Much Wenlock.
And what would you say to people in Westminster or something about Much Wenlock and how much you're doing for the sports here in Much Wenlock?
Well, I'd say we've got a lot to learn because, you know, we're trying to get more young people to play sport, and William Penny Brooks was the inspiration for that way of thinking, and that all started here, and you know, out of that came the modern Olympic movement. So I think it's what Westminster's got to learn from Much Wenlock rather than the other way around.
Excellent. The torch is a big thing. Do you think that we'll get the torch here in Shropshire?
I really hope so. It's not my decision, but you know, it would be, I think, a wonderful thing to remind people just how important Britain has been in the modern Olympic story.
And so if we don't get it, do you think there should be some sort of celebration anyway that happens here?
Well, I'm not going to speculate, but I think, you know, I'd love you to, in any way possible, to be a big part of what happens next year.
And after 2012, do you think, what can we do for after 2012 to keep the momentum going?
Well, I think a lot of young people are going to be really inspired by, you know, people like Rebecca Adlington and Tom Daly and Jess Ennis, and that inspiration we've got to make sure it lasts beyond 2012, so that every school in the country is doing more sport and giving more opportunities to their young people in 2013, 2014 and 2015.